Hello. Hello, is this on? Okay. Hello, camera. So, it is Thursday. It's a bank holiday. No Inside Out. Except if I was such a hero. I broke into the school by opening the door. I roly-polied my way across the corridor to get into this room. I only broke my leg. Bianca is probably on a beach somewhere. She's so selfish. Welcome to Inside Out. So, welcome to Inside Out. It's just me, because Bianca, she's not needed. I'm the hero. I'm the only person in this building right now. All the teachers are gone. And I had to do so many roly-polies. Like, I don't think you've ever seen so many roly-polies. I'm gonna be stiff tomorrow, I'll tell you that. Bianca, she's probably off at a beach somewhere trying to get tanned. But the first item on the agenda is an art display in primary, and we had a film crew down there to capture the event. Roll the tape.
So for our topic we did abstract art, and we have Salvador Dali and Kandinsky as our two different artists. We have two different split sides, Salvador Dali side and the Kandinsky side. Salvador Dali side, we've got people to paint in the style of Salvador Dali. On the Kandinsky side, we have a game for drawing and music.
So in art today, we've been learning and presenting our knowledge of decoupage, which is the art or craft of snipping out paper cutouts and decorating objects, anything, furniture really. So we've just been, parents have come in and we've been presenting our knowledge to them, and they're having a go at our activity, which is to create either a Swiss flag or a tree on paper with black and white.
Wait, I'm not done. No, it's fine. Can you draw it and then give it?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you about what we did. So we took a piece of our face, so mine, and I'd cut out my eye or my mouth or a piece of hair on my ears. So then we'd stick them on. So let's say I put an eye, I don't know, on my forehead. Let's say I could see from different angles. If I had an extra nose, I can have the scent and I can smell more. If I had more hair, I'd say I like to model my hair. If I had a mouth, I'd say I have good taste buds and a good taste. You're uploading this for Inside Out? Alors on a travaillé sur le cubisme et l'impressionnisme. Et on a parlé des différents styles de peinture, mais il y en a plein. Et on s'est juste concentré sur deux, le cubisme et l'impressionnisme. Et aujourd'hui, les parents viennent et on les parle de ce qu'on fait. Hi
I've been doing Japanese woodblock printing. It's when we used styrofoam tiles and with a pencil we etched in whatever shape we wanted to, mountain, samurai, dragon, whatever. You roll paint over it, you turn it upside down, you put the paint side on the paper, and then you get a roller and you roll it off, and then you take it off, and then there's the print.
Our artwork is about Roy Lichtenstein, and his first ever picture is Look Mickey, and his most famous one is called Wham. He made other ones which are called Hello Amsterdam and In the Car.
Okay.
I can't do any to give them back.
Oh, hello. Didn't think I let you down, did you? No, I'm still part of Inside Out. You know, I'm just reading up on the Guerrilla Filmmaker's Pocketbook, studying for Inside Out, not like William, who makes a fool of himself and calls it a show. Sorry. Well, anyways, I'm just reading up on production and costume tips. And speaking of shows and costumes, the next item on the show is the Arts Cafe, which Will obviously knows nothing about. So, roll the tape.
Welcome to our last informal music cafe. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Quiet. But we will have the primary quiet. We will start the primary quiet. Enjoy the program. Thank you.
Oh, hi! Bianca and Will aren't the only ones trying to put their part in the show for the bank holiday. I'm on the other side of the world, studying history. Oh, that reminds me, the DP1s have also been studying history in their lessons, and they've gone back in time. Roll the footage.
When the Cabinet meets on a Saturday, it's news. By the time you see these pictures, the world will perhaps know what the news is this time. At the moment, we can only guess. But the subjects to be discussed are Anglo-Italian questions and the situation in Austria.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Prime Minister.
Good morning.
Morning.
I would like to welcome you all to this Cabinet meeting to discuss a very important issue that in regards to Mussolini and the dire, the frankly quite troubling declarations that he has made. We need to decide as a cabinet what the British government will do.
So this activity was all about we were acting out as British cabinet, and we were kind of set in the time of 1935, just after a crisis in Ethiopia where Mussolini invaded Abyssinia, and we were kind of brought on this emergency meeting to discuss what the British would do about it.
lives have been lost already. There is a fight going on right now between Italian troops, which are essentially called mercenaries because Italians do not agree that they're their troops, and the Ethiopian Somalians.
Secretary of State of War.
Is Italy a European nation?
We must not risk causing an enemy of Mussolini. He is a major ally in keeping communism and Hitler at bay. So we got into character mainly via props and stealing our parents' pipes and cigarettes. But otherwise we did some sufficient research and discovered new information allowing us to venture deeper into the cabinet's mindset during this crisis.
The interests of our assets. If we just move them there,
yes.
If we just move them there,
walking into a
no. I'm not saying that. No.
It's
Home
just
Secretary.
stroll to the park. It is the same thing, sir.
Home Secretary.
He has shown no intention.
I'm saying
marching into our territory.
I'm just saying that if we simply just move the ships and station them in our colonies, in our ports, and we just move them there, and we say they are there to patrol due to the conflict in Palestine. It is only up to Mussolini's interpretation. We, as a matter of fact,
we can also mention the fact they're here for fishing.
So my role in this role play activity was the Home Secretary. So he is responsible to inform the Prime Minister of what's the general feeling in England.
I do realize that, but however, I need to remind everyone present that although thousands of jobs might be created, I know 5 that will certainly go out of job in the next year if we start to rearm. We lost a majority of more than 14,000 votes by 5,000 votes by an opponent who supported disarmament.
So my character was the Chancellor of the Exchequer, which is basically like a finance minister. And his department's view on it was that Britain didn't have the economy or the stable economy to go to war or fight against Mussolini.
Okay, so
I must stress this information. If we rearm, not all of the unemployed workers can work in these factories. They're not skilled enough labourers.
Yes. Then I'm speaking, Foreign Secretary.
So during our roleplay, my part was to represent the Foreign Secretary, which meant I had to consider the international relations during this time with Britain, which meant looking at their empire, which was quite large at the time, and looking at the issues in the Middle East, in India and in Ireland, and seeing how that affected their decisions for the Abyssinian crisis in 1935. They prefer us not to go into European conflict. However, they will provide support if there is a European conflict. However, this is not such a conflict. This is a minor issue with just, as we mentioned before, a little watering hole in the middle of Africa, which no one, quite frankly, cares about. What language, sorry.
Foreign Minister, this watering hole you're talking about, I would like to go back to Manchuria. What was Manchuria essentially was a little bit of iron getting blown up. Nobody has died, nobody has lost anything more than 2 days of work. And then in this watering hole, lives have been lost already. There is a fight going on right now.
I think it's a hugely valuable activity because, not only did we enjoy ourselves, I think it was quite fun, but also I found it easier to remember information simply because it's a more exciting way to learn. It's not simply looking at a book, it's interacting with others, interacting with your knowledge.
Yeah, I think just because you have to really focus on what your department's views were at the time, you really kind of iron out those ideas. And also when you're debating with maybe another person's opposite view, you kind of get their ideas as well. And because you're debating, you're going back and forth, they really get sealed into your brain.
Yeah, and it really allowed us to understand the factors affecting the cabinet's decision during this time, because when you're looking through the history books, it can sometimes be quite confusing to consider why they decided to do that and why they decided to get towards appeasement rather than conflict.
Yeah, it's exactly right. When you just look at a book, you just think, what an idiot. But when you have to try to think like they did and put yourself in that mindset, not only does it make you more understandable of their understanding of their decisions, but you also remember more why.
Yeah, it's like taking out the hindsight and everything and just understanding better.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the end of the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Even though it's bank holiday, nothing stops Inside Out, even sticky fingers.